Hey guys and gals. Hey guys and gals. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, parents, students, learning, kids that are learning. Yes, 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 yes. You mathematics learning, loving peoples. I love it. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you hitting that play button. Let's go! Turn it up for you, guys and gals. Wanting to learn, wanting to grow, slowly becoming part of the 120 and above IQ club. Let's go! All right, I know I go over the same a lot, guys. If you've already kind of heard the usual spiel, if this isn't live, right? It's great to have you here when it's live. Truly is awesome. But if I go on my usual typical kind of intros and that, you can always, yeah. The great thing about YouTube when it's not live, you can skip forward to the learning part of the video if you want to kind of just get right to it. That would be awesome. If that's what you would like to do. Otherwise, you can stay, listen to the spiel, and this is for you, parents that are homeschooling your children, your children's, your kids. Here to support you. I'm thinking that you might be overwhelmed with a lot of different areas and subjects to kind of teach your children. So here to help, I'm Johnny, WhiskeyTango Sharp. Do coding over here, also majored in mathematics. It's one of my favorite subjects, to be honest. I enjoy working with math, solving problems, working with numbers, and all those sort of things. I just truly enjoy it, and I'm glad to help. So you are welcome anytime. Same thing with students. If you're, searching YouTube or whatever, looking for, extra additional support and help, you're welcome to be here as well. It's great to have you. I could only assume that maybe your math instructor so that's why you're on the internet looking. So I'm going to do my best over here to give you guys tips, tricks, advice, little shortcuts, this and that, tips and tricks and advice and blah, blah, blah. and all the good things that come with mathematics. So appreciate you being here. I don't usually say this enough, but if you like the content, please do hit that like button. Feel free to hit the subscribe button as well if you enjoy being here and learning. Great to have you. And also remember, sharing is caring. Let's go! All right. With that said, let's get right to it. Okay. Gonna let you parents know over here we are sticking to the subject, and that is mathematics. Might talk about a little go kind of off topic from mathematics a little bit, but not too crazy. If I do, it's going to be school related or something, right? Basically, anything to do with helping, maybe with doing exams or anything to that effect. So, just to let you know, staying on topic over here for you so that your child or children can learn and grow. Let's go. Okay, with that said, let's do some math. Some mathematics! Yeah! Alright, just gonna clean up the old whiteboard. If you're curious to what I'm using for software, to be, it's kind of, I wish I would have found this years ago. I've been actually wanting to teach mathematics on YouTube for 5 years or something now, but I just didn't have the medium or the tools for teaching, and I didn't want to do videos using a movable camera duct taped to my forehead and writing on a chalkboard. I'm just like, I don't want to do it this way. This is terrible. So it took coding and grinding in Unity and digital art to finally find the software called Krita. If you're interested, Krita is, if maybe you like to do sketching, this is all learning related, guys. Okay, nothing else, nothing more. Let's go to help here about Krita, okay? This is the software I'm using, okay? And version and such, I don't know, but just search Krita. Software, download, something to that effect. You'll find it. Make sure you go to the Krita website. Don't go anywhere else, okay? They're just scammers and hackers and virus people, okay? Always go to the source, and that's Krita, okay? That's my tips and tricks and advice. So yeah, that's what I'm using, and I'm kind of finally glad to have it. I feel this is a great medium I could use to teach mathematics. I love it because obviously I can't use a marker and write on my LCD monitor because you're not going to see it. Okay, you're not going to see it. And then I'd just be writing all over my monitor. Okay, blonde moment. Let's go. I'm my own mod here, guys and gals, so small channel, slowly growing. Maybe I'll grow one day, 1 year, I don't know. My thinking is I don't really want to be cynical, but I feel like only 5% of the world wants to learn. The rest, what's up? Okay, over here, we're part of the 120 and higher IQ club. Let's go! Okay. Oh, I hate when I do that. Hate's a strong word, but why? Was I even close to that? Not even close. So frustrating. I don't need to see that fly out, pop out. What do I need that for? Okay, focus, stuff like that kind of gets me a little bit triggered, a little bit. I don't like that. Okay, let's focus here. So we're going to work on these problems now, okay, guys? Gals, appreciate you being here. Much love. You're awesome sauce. Remember, look in the mirror. Say to yourself, I am awesome sauceum. That's right. That's right. You are. Turn it up. Okay, let's look at this. Okay. So again, like usual, my advice is don't let it scare you. Well, what do we have here? We have lines. We have a square. We have alphabets. And we have a number. We understand what all that stuff is, right? That's not too complicated, is it? No way, Jose. Not at all. Okay, hopefully you're following the series and you got a good grasp of the definitions and that, because you're going to need all that. The basics, the basic understanding of, alternate, opposite, straight angles, what is a 90-degree symbol, all those things. They're important and critical to being able to solve these kind of problems. Okay, guys, don't slack, don't be lazy. Do a little reading. It's not gonna hurt you. Okay, you're just making yourself smarter, wiser, stronger, better. Okay, 120 IQ club. Let's go. Okay, we have a straight line here. Okay, or a straight angle. What does straight angles equal? 180 degrees. Okay, let's just start drawing this out. Okay. And we have a triangle, basically. Whoops, that is not a 90 degree. I try my best to draw a 90 degree. Okay, all right. Now, unfortunately, I can't, it's not like AutoCAD or anything I'm using here. Like, you can't really lock. I'm using my mouse freehand to draw here, okay? So, bear with me. Thank you for understanding. Again, if you're writing it on a piece of paper and such, it's going to be kind of the same thing anyways. All right, what does this symbol here mean? Okay, there we go. Let's begin with some stuff. That symbol means 90 degrees. Oh, look at that. We got some information. Okay, X and Y here. So we have X here and Y here. Okay, and then we're also given 60 degrees in here. So I'm just going to go like that. And then we're going to call it beta, I guess. Or I could have used Z, it doesn't matter. Okay, we'll just call it beta. And it's equal to, was it 60? Yeah. 60 degrees. Okay, there we go. So they want us to figure out X and Y. All right, let's do this. Okay, same sort of rules, guys. Okay, it's not really a formula, but it might as well be. This one here you're gonna want to know. Okay, this one's a good one. All interior angles of every triangle, all triangles, including right triangles, all interior angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay, we have 3 interior angles. There's supplementary angles, and it could be 2 or more, not just 2. Okay, with a sum of 180 degrees. Okay, let's go. Let's solve this. So let's just work with the triangle first, right? We're breaking it down slowly, guys and gals, okay? That's what we're going to do here. We're slowly breaking it down. Okay, so let's start with X. I'm just going to work over here. X equals, what does X equal? X equals 180. Now, I've already showed you kind of how to work the problem. Not work the problem. Let's go back to that little formula. If you're watching the last video, I showed you the basic algebraic way of moving variables from one side to the other side of an equal sign. Okay, I recommend you check out the prior video if you haven't already. Maybe I'll show it again in the future, but we're just going to go right to it here. So x is equal to 180, all interior angles. Subtract, I'm also go 90 here. We don't even really need to write this. We could just go right to 90 because 180 minus 90 is 90, but that's okay. And then subtract beta. Okay? There we go. So now it's just substitution. I'm just going to do the math right now because I already know that's going to be 90 degrees. 9 plus 9 is 18, guys. Okay, ignore the zeros. Math is consistent, and it's all the same. Okay, and beta is 60. Okay, and degrees. So therefore, x is equal to 9 take away 6. I always ignore the zeros when I'm subtracting. KISS method. Okay, and then just drop a 0. That easy. 30 degrees. Okay, there we go. There's x. X is done. Okay, so now we need y. So it's the same thing, guys, right? That rule. Where is there a rule for that? I don't know. Let me just see. Let's see. Can I find something that's going to explain that? How to work that math? Basically, we do have supplementary angles and two angles. Okay, that really, technically speaking, is the formula in a sense. We still have supplementary angles, guys. Okay, x and y are supplementary angles. Okay, you kind of need to understand the definitions too, right? There really is no formula for that, but you just really need to know. Sorry that I'm scrolling so much here. You just need to know. Here we go. Let's look at the problem. We have a straight line here, right? Which is also known as a straight angle. Okay, what does a straight angle equal? It equals 180 degrees, right? Images. Let's see if I can find that. Okay. In geometry, a straight angle is an angle that measures exactly 180 degrees. Okay. So with that said, whoops, we already solved for x, right? Now we know x. So complementary angles, basically we have y equals, let's solve it. Y equals, I'm just going to go like that. Y equals, because they're complementary angles, y equals 180 degrees subtract x. Okay, which equals, here's x, we already solved it, right? 180. Again, it's an obtuse, so you have to know your angles. Okay, we'll just go over that quickly here in just a sec. Okay, substituting for x. 30 degrees. Therefore, y is equal to 8 take away 3 is 5. I'm going to drop the 1. 5. 5 and 0. 150 degrees. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. Okay, so hold up, guys. Commercial, I gotta mute here. Skip. And just pause it a sec. I gotta turn the volume up again. Alright, back to work. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, guys? Let's look at this. We have a straight line. And when we have, this is, just a line segment. It could be a ray, it could be whatever. Okay, just We just created a triangle. No big deal. So we have a straight angle and we have a line here. Okay. With this line here creates two angles. We have an interior angle here and an interior angle here. They're adjacent to each other, right? So if you look at it with what is the line doing? It's creating an angle, right? That angle, if you look at it, is an acute angle. Okay? It's cute because it's a beautiful and handsome angle. Okay? Acute angle. All right? What is an obtuse angle? It's an angle that's greater than 90 degrees. So if you notice, this angle is a narrow angle and this is a wider angle. Okay? You got to visually see this. So X is an acute angle and Y is an obtuse angle. Okay? Technically speaking, right? And they are also, looking at it, they're also adjacent to each other. And together they add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so you can see here, X is a narrow angle, which is 30 degrees, right? That's why I'm explaining this, so you could actually visually understand it in your head, right? You could go, oh, hey, right, yeah, that makes sense. It's less than 90, it's 30 degree, right? Oh, this is greater than 90. Yes, 150 is greater than 90, right? So that is, yes, in fact, an obtuse angle. Just little things to kind of remember, right? All right, let's go. Drum roll that one. Yeah! Love it. Okay. Let's clean up this board. And we'll do some more work. Okay, guys? We're here to learn, right? Excuse me, we're here to learn. Okay. So these kind of problems, like I have some other ones, but I could actually rotate this. This be a pivot point. I can rotate this triangle into any different orientation or angle. So if you see problems like this that look similar, it doesn't matter if they're rotated or whatever, you still do the same thing, right? Its orientation doesn't matter. It's meaningless. Okay? All right. So same sort of concept here. Okay? We have a straight line. Okay? We have a triangle here. You can see that. We know, right? We've already done the work. We know that all interior angles of a triangle equal 180 degrees. So we could easily get these, but the problem is you need two numbers to finish this, to solve it. So we need some more information. Oh, okay, so how else can we do this? Let's think about it, right? We're smart people. We can figure it out. We just got to think a little bit. Using the old noggin, right? So looking at it, we can go, I see a straight line here, a straight angle. Orientation doesn't matter. It's still a straight angle. So as soon as you see a straight line, tell yourself, all right, we have supplementary angles here. Aha! Which means that these two angles add up to 180 degrees. So we can solve for X simply by using that logic, right? So I could draw the triangle. I don't know how, let's see, visual, that's supposed to be a 90. No, it's not a 90, so it doesn't have to be a 90. Okay, and we need a straight line technically. So, close enough. Okay. The motto is, it all looks good from an airplane. That is X. This angle here is given, which is 85. We're just going to call it beta again. And it's equal to 85. Okay, so that means this is not a right triangle, guys. This is not a right triangle. Okay, and they've given us this angle right here, which is an obtuse angle, right? So I could go like this. I could call it, I don't know, let's use this symbol. Technically speaking, that would be theta. And that is equal to 140 degrees, if my recollection is correct. Yes. Okay, there we go. There's our information. Okay, and this could be our just random line kind of going off. We could pretend it's a ray if you want. Right, we could. Okay, so this is unknown, this is unknown. We're given some information here. This is an obtuse angle here, guys. You can see it, right? Inside here is an acute angle. An obtuse and an acute equal 180. There's another way I guess you could look at it. I don't know if that's true in every case, but in this case, yes. All right, so what does X equal? X equals, should I do it over here? X, whoops, sorry guys. X equals, same concept. So we have a straight line, right? Supplementary, right? Supplementary. It could be 2 or more, right? It has to be minimum 2, obviously. 180 minus our theta. Okay? So which equals 180 subtract, we're substituting here. $140. Ooh. And of course, right, ignoring, so the ones we know are going to cancel, the zeros we could ignore kind of. I'm just going to subtract the 2 middle numbers. 8 is greater than 4. I know my answer is going to be 4. 1 take away 1 is going to be 0, so we just got to drop the 0. There we go. Easy peasy. So 40 degrees. Okay, so there we go. Now we know X. So now that we know X, we can solve for Y. Right? We're given another bit of information right here. So I'm going to go like this. Doing that just for separation. Y is equal to so again, all interior angles add up to 180 degrees. Isn't that nice? So simple. Really simple. So minus X, because now we know X, minus beta. Okay, good enough. Okay, so now we just substitute. X is here. Substitute for X. Minus beta. Substitute beta. 85. So Y is going to equal I could do the long math, but we'll just smash it with the calculator quickly. Well, obviously I could have went 140 minus 85, but that's okay. All right, and minus 85.
Your home is your happy
Hold
place
up, guys.
until you come back.
I don't know why the commercials are just popping up a little bit more all of a sudden. Sure, I'll share the commercials. When you show me the money. Another commercial. Serious? Okay, hold up, guys. Alright, back to work. So I got 55. 180 minus 40 minus 85 equals 55. 55 degrees. There we go. And if you want, you could double check, right? Just to make sure. You could substitute, right? You know all interior angles equal 180. Well, if you didn't mess things up, you should be correct. But you could go beta just to confirm if you wanted to. One side equals the other side. So 180 equals beta plus y plus x, right? And they'll equal each other if you got the right variables, values, okay? Let's drop the yays. All right, so having fun. Okay, clean it up. There you go. Hopefully you did that on your own. If you tried it on your own, you're awesome. Like, I truly think that's spectacular that you did. And hopefully you got the correct answers. Now again, if you didn't get the correct answers, please don't give yourself a hard time. Please don't, the thing about making mistakes is you learn from your mistakes. That's just human nature, I guess. Right? That's how we learn, guys. Okay? The only way you're going to get better is making mistakes. Now, obviously you don't want to make mistakes, but the key thing about making mistakes is learning from it, not doing it again, right? Or at least not trying not to. The more you grind, the more problems you do, the better it's going to get, okay? All right, so we have this figure here. I don't know, I thought maybe we could go through it, maybe not. Let's just kind of see if we can solve some of this. Let's just have a look. So looking at this image, just based on what we've already been kind of talking about, I see two parallel lines. And we could call that BAT, right? That's kind of how it works. I know they throw in a lot of extra variables in that, and it can be confusing. But really what they're trying to do is saying point, point, point. They're just labeling each point. That's all it is. So this is a line segment called BAT. This is a line segment called WON. I won! Yay! And they're both parallel to each other. Okay, now we see a line going through both of them. So that's going to be our transversal line. Okay, and then we also see another line here, which is, I can see that little symbol there. That symbol means 90 degrees. What does 90 degrees mean? Well, it means that we have a line perpendicular, right? These two are parallel, 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 perpendicular, 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 okay? All right, so they're saying L1 and L2, okay? So they're just, instead of calling the line GAR, we can also call it L2. Just giving it another name. That's all it's really doing, guys. Okay? these are labeling the points, and this is labeling the line. It's actually giving the line a name, if you will. Okay, L1, where's L1? Okay, that's this one. That's our horizontal line. And L2, where's L2? Oh, that's our line that's perpendicular. So right there, we just talked about. So A is going to be F. Okay, I wish I could cross this off, but there we go. Let's do the easy ones, the ones that we know, right? It's best to do the ones that you know, get them done. Even if you don't get 100%, even if you get 1 or 2 wrong, who cares? You're still winning because you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6 correct. And if we did the math, that's 2/3. It's still better than 50%, right? 4 divided by 6 times 100. You're still winning. That's still 66%. Okay? So, get the ones done that you know, and then if, kind of guess the other 2 if you're not sure, right? It's not the best advice, but I'd rather, you get the ones done that you know, and then you can spend a little bit of time trying to analyze the other last 2 and see, and then just go with best answer, right? Again, another tip, a lot of times they say when for me doing multiple choice, a lot of times your first thought is the correct answer. Don't second guess yourself. Okay? If you're not sure, go with your original thought. And then just carry on to the next question. Okay, that's my tips and advice also for multiple choice. And then there's another saying, go with your gut. Your gut feeling usually means, a gut feeling usually means that it's a correct feeling, okay? I know it's kind of hard to understand what that means, but going with your gut is kind of your first instinct, okay? Kind of means the same thing. All right, L3 and L4, okay? L3, L4, those are our parallel lines, okay? So B's done. So we can cross off F and B. We got A and B done. Okay, now this is how these work, okay? It's saying angle CAB. So look for C, look for A, look for B. There we go. So they're saying this angle, which is an acute angle, CAB. That's how these work. And BAG. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry, excuse me. Angle BAG. So BAG. There we go. So we have CAB and BAG. It's in the bag. So looking at this, we have, okay, we know that they're alternate. Is that the word? Alternate? If I'm right. Jeez, so much terminology. Let me find that image again. I want to bring it up just to be consistent so that we're getting the right information all the time. I have to, where is that? Is that here? Ah, it's in here. Here. Okay, alternate. Let's have a look here. They are technically beside each other. No, not alternate. Ah, adjacent. I knew it started with A. That's the word I'm looking for. Adjacent. Okay, adjacent. Okay. Oh, well, there we go. We just answered that question. They're not adjacent. They're definitely not alternate. So we answered that question. So it's not that. Corresponding. What is a corresponding? What are corresponding angles? Corresponding. What is a corresponding angle? Corresponding angles look like this. I'm just going to screenshot again here. There we go. Science. Love science. Okay, corresponding angles, right? So they're both acute angles. They're congruent, obviously. So they're corresponding. So I'm going to say no, they're not corresponding because they have different value in degrees. They're not the same. Okay, let's carry on then. So, I mean, I guess they could be... supplementary. No, complementary. Haha! Because this is a 90 degree. We got it. We got it, guys. So CAB and BAG. Remember? Let's go back to the little rules. I just remembered. Oh, this is great. This is great. Complementary angles are two angles with the sum of 90. Ha ha ha! That's our answer. We might get 100 on this, boys and girls. Okay, so that means we checked A. Boom. There we go. A. Okay, let's look at the other three. We're halfway there. CAT. So this is an obtuse. CAT, obtuse. And AON. That might be our alternate interior angle. Is that right? No, corresponding. Aha, corresponding. Yes. Corresponding. Do we still have that image? No. That's what they are. Corresponding, guys. Snipping tool. Okay, it doesn't matter if they're acute, as long as they're congruent, right? That's the key. They have to be congruent, meaning same value in degrees. Okay, they're both acute, therefore they're corresponding. Okay, so the same can work for CAT and AON. They're both obtuse, so they're corresponding. Okay, AON, so the same one we already kind of looked at, and NOP. Okay, they're all they're gonna be neighbors. They're neighbor angles. They could add up to 180, right? So they could be our supplementary, right? AON and NOP, because this is our 180 degree line. So if we added this angle and this angle together, they equal 180. So this one here could be our supplementary lines. That correct? That sound correct? Let's see. What's the last one? TAO, which is an acute angle. TAO, and WOA. TAO, WOA. So they're both. That's this angle and this angle, which are both acute angles. They're alternate interior angles. That has to be it. I think we just winner chicken dinner that one, boys and girls. Let's go. Now, how long did that take us? Probably a little longer than 2 minutes. Right? So that's kind of how fast you kind of want to go through these. You want to analyze them quick. In the figure below shows two lines, 1 and 2, L1, L2. So we have L1, which would be our transversal, and we have L2. Okay, so we're missing our parallel line is what we're missing. What does it say? Draw a third line, L3, so we're going to call it L3, passing through point P. Oh, it passes through point P. Okay. So I got that wrong. It's all orientation and perspective. So our parallel line is going to be with this one. Aha. Okay. That's what they're saying. So that means this is our transversal. I was guessing at first. Okay. It says passing through point P. So which means it's intersecting. Okay, a parallel line would be right on top of it, right, guys? Okay, so that L2 and L3 are parallel. L2 and what? Hold up. So that L2 and L3 are parallel. What? That kind of confuses me now. How does it pass through but be parallel? How's it even possible? Draw a third line L3 passing through point P. Wouldn't it be parallel to L1? So that the L2 and L2 and L3 are parallel. Man, that's a mind boggler a little bit. Just thinking a little bit here. It's impossible for it to pass through. How would it pass through if they're parallel? Right, guys? Am I missing something here? Like if point P was here, it would make sense. In the figure below shows two lines, line 1, line 2, and a point P on line 1. What? It says it's on line 1? What the California are you talking about, Bob? Point P is on line 2. Was the guy even thinking when they were writing this? So, guys, like honestly, the only thing I could think is, like, how do you solve this, really? Because the question doesn't match the visual, right? So, I mean, I would write my teacher and I would go, first I would say, well, Bob, point P is not on line 1. Okay, point P is on line 2. So how do you expect me to draw a parallel line through point P when it's on line 2? So I would probably, I don't know, it doesn't really matter which one you make the parallel. However you solve it, I would draw a parallel line. You could take your ruler, just, I don't know, go 5 units, whatever you want for a distance. I would go from here, I'd measure a distance somewhere out here, and then I'd be consistent. I would measure a distance from here, the exact same number of units, put a dot, and then put your line parallel here, or your ruler, put your line parallel, and then just draw a line. And then I would probably put a dot here, and then I'd probably put an X here, and then I would put P over here, so that, you know, and you would be correct because you would be drawing it correctly. The way they got it, I don't know. Am I missing something here? Am I tired? You can't draw a parallel line passing through P, have it parallel to line 2. It would literally be on top of it. Literally. Okay. Parallel wall studs. Line segment AB. Okay, line segment AB. Okay, it's a vertical stud, I guess. And line segment CD. Okay, another vertical stud. Looks like we got a 45-degree, bracing stud. Used to support the walls of a building, as shown in figure. Okay, find the missing values. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, so they're giving us 45 degrees. Okay, just thinking, don't look at it as double lines, guys. Just imagine a center line, an imaginary center line. Okay, it doesn't really matter how you look at it. This interior angle is still 45 degrees, no matter how you look at it. So this is an opposite, so that means this is going to be 45 degrees. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's going to be consistent. You can't change the angles unless you actually physically rotate the piece of wood. That's the only way you can change the angle. That's why this is going to be 45 and this is going to be 45. That means this is 45 and this is 45. So X is going to be 45. Okay, there we go. Right, and if you look, it's also an acute angle, right? Which is a narrow angle, right? Now look at Y. Y is an obtuse angle. Okay? It's a wider angle, right? So with that logic, right? So imagine this stud or brace, 45-degree brace. Just imagine it as a straight line. You can call it a straight angle. What do straight angles equal? 180 degrees. So therefore, Y plus X equals 180 degrees. So to do the math, we can go 180. So that's going to be Y, right? So Y is going to equal 180 subtract, I'm just going to go 45. Okay. And then just for fun, we'll do it the long way. Okay, subtracting, borrowing 5, and 7 take away 4 is 3, and bring the 1 down. 135 degrees. Okay, so Y equals 135 degrees. Okay, again, it's an obtuse angle, right? Greater than 90. Okay, that's done. See how long? I don't know how long it took to do that, but that should be as quick as you do a problem. That quick, right? If you're on an exam. If you want to spend a little more time thinking about it when you're not on an exam, that's fine. Okay, but you kind of want to smash the problem that quick, but you also want to show your work as well. So I could finish the answer up here instead and go Y is equal to 135 degrees. Right? Here's kind of showing the work. Okay. All right, let's continue. How are we doing for time? We're probably almost done, huh? Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. The figure on the right shows 2 vertical spindles of a staircase banister. The handrail AB is parallel to the base CD, which makes sense. That's normal. That's common. Okay. So these lines are parallel. That means these could be these are also parallel to each other. So we could technically look at this as we have 2 transversal lines or spindles. Okay, find the missing values. Okay, so X and Y. So they've given us 40. Okay, you could use like there's actually something you could buy. I don't know, like a hardware store, one of your major hardware stores. They're metal. It's like 2 metal rulers with. It's not very large, by all means. Sometimes it might even have like a metal protractor on it too. Just depends. Like some of them are like that. They'll have a metal protractor with like a metal ruler, and then there's like a little screw knob or something on it so that you can loosen it, adjust it, and then tighten it down. And you could actually use it as a measuring instrument and figure out angles. It's pretty awesome sauce. Okay, so going with our thought processes here, right? If we ignore all the alternate and hang on guys, hang on. Um, is this it? Like, it's nice to know all these. We know we could call it alternate, but really you just need to remember, okay? This is an acute angle. This is an acute angle. They're opposite each other. They're alternate angles. They're also equal to each other. Same thing goes with the obtuse, right? You just got to remember, oh yeah, this is an obtuse. This is an obtuse. Therefore, they're going to be the same value in degrees. Okay? As long as you have a parallel line, and a transversal line, it's going to be consistently like that all the time, guys. Okay? So look, we have an acute angle. 40 degrees is less than 90. It's still an acute angle. Look at this. That's an acute angle. Oh, x has got to be 40 degrees. Okay, now if you needed to express an answer as to why you made that decision, well, you can use the word congruent, and you can also use the words, I don't know, I guess alternate angles. And you should get the dub, right? Your teacher can't argue that, right? Congruent means they're exactly the same amount in value. Sorry, I had to skip another commercial again. Somebody doing, I don't know, yoga meditating or something. Okay, so there we go. We got X. Oh, look, guys. All right. What's that other term? It was that next one. Yeah, right here. Let's see. Is it that one? No, it was up here. That's what it was. Alternate interior angles, right? That's what they are. Alternate interior angles. So that's what this would be, y. So x is equal to y. So therefore, y is also 40 degrees. Okay, let's do this last one. Okay, this is all scaling, guys. Let me show you something cool. Okay, if you've been following my series at all, and you've heard me say maybe mention the term ratio proportion. Ratio proportion is the easiest way to solve scaling. Okay, so we have a Hot Wheels car model. Okay, and this is the actual size of the car. So they've given us a vertical dimension, which is great. Maybe they physically roughly estimate. I don't know how they got it to, was that tenths, hundredths? 400ths of an inch? Is that how it is? How do you physically measure you can't even do that with a measuring tape. It's not even logically realistic. I don't know, maybe they did it with a laser beam. I don't know. You can't measure that kind of accuracy with a measuring tape. I'm just telling you. That's called the real world. Okay? And there are no calipers large enough to measure the ground to the top of a roof of a Mustang. Okay? They just don't exist. Unless you're the Jolly Green Giant. Okay? But then if you're the Jolly Green Giant, then I guess your car would become a Hot Wheels model car. Oh! Let's finish this up. Okay, let me show you the easy way to do this. Okay, it's real simple. Okay, we got the Hot Wheels model car. Okay, what are the values? I'm gonna put the smaller number on top. It doesn't matter how you do it. We could call this X, we could call this Y. So I'm just gonna go 0. Actually, that's not where I want it. Decimal 86. Okay, we have to be consistent. We're gonna make one side equal the other side. That's what we're doing. Okay, these have to be together. Okay, on the same side. 0.86 and 2.94. 2.94. Okay? Okay? Guys, following? This is on the same side. They have to be on the same side together. Okay? 0.86 over 2.94. Double check. Correct. Okay, now be consistent. This is our vertical. This means this is our vertical. The unknown is the length. The horizontal is unknown. So 55.04. 55.04. Okay, you got to be consistent. I'll just leave it. And x is the variable that's unknown. Okay, we're solving for x. Okay, there we go. That's our setup. We just set it up. This is how you solve it. Ratio proportion is so simple. Ratio pro, because you have to be a pro to use it. And you guys are all pros because you're all part of the 120 and above IQ club. Proportion. Okay? Which is only 5% of the population. What does that say for the rest of the world? Drooling out of their mouths like Stimpy, watching silliness videos. Filling their minds with useless information. Over here we're learning and growing. Yeah! Okay, so x is unknown, right? You have to be consistent. Vertical with vertical. Horizontal with horizontal. Okay? Vertical, vertical, horizontal, horizontal. You following? So now it's just simply cross multiply. I just call it cross multiply. Doesn't really matter. Holy smackaroonies. I didn't want to do that. Okay. Okay, so I always want x on the left side. So I'm multiplying 0.86 times x. Okay? So 0. I should have gave myself a little more room to do this, but oh goodness gracious, can I write today? 0.86 times x. Everything's horizontal. We're putting everything horizontal. Okay, and this is getting multiplied together. 2.94. I'll use a bracket because we have decimals. I like to use brackets. 55. Remember, brackets infer multiplication, guys. 0.04. Okay, boom, 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 boom. That's good enough. Okay, there we go. We got everything horizontal. We're not done yet. We still have to solve. Okay, so what we need now is we need to isolate. You could call it isolate x. Isolate. We need to isolate x. Okay? And what I mean by that is we need x to equal 1 or 1x. Okay? So how do you do that? I should have given myself more room here. So I'm just going to kind of work over here, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to go right here. So x. Okay, remember how I was showing you guys how to just, let's keep it simple. It all works out the same. I can multiply, I could divide both sides by 0.86. I could do that. That's just all extra nonsense, which, I don't know, maybe some teachers trying to look like they're smart or something, but they're really just confusing you even more. That's just a waste of time. Don't do that. That's stupid. Okay? It's silliness. Okay? All we need to do is go like this, take the 0.86 and go whoop, 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 done. Equals, hang on, let me just clean that up. X equals, let me just show you the work here. 2.94 I didn't give myself, again, always running out of room here, squishing things in. 55.04. I make the thing larger and it's like I use up most of the room. Again, we're dividing. This is going underneath. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're putting it underneath. That's all we're doing, moving it. Who cares about all that other nonsense? It still works out the same. 0.86. There we go. That's going to be x. X is going to be equal to, I'm just going to go like this, just to separate it all. X equals, so again, I'm not going to do long math on this. I'm going to use calculator because I don't like doing long division with decimals. The easiest way to do it is to remove the decimals, but then we're working with 294. Okay, 294, I mean, I guess I can multiply them easily, times 55.04. Okay, I get 16,000. I could show the work. I get 16 just so you can see it. I'm going to round it, and I'm going to round it up, so it's going to be 182. Now you do want to keep your accuracy, okay guys? You do. On your calculator, you want to keep the accuracy. You don't want to lose it. And that's all going to be divided by 0.86. Okay? 294 times 55.04 equals 16,181.76. And then I'm just going to work the rest of it out. And that's going to be divided by 0.86. And I get an exact number too. Crazy. Did I even do that right? Get out of town, Bob. Oh, I didn't go 2.94. Silly me. Let's start that again. I forgot my decimal. 2.94. That's why I'm like 18,000. That seems redonk. Right? You know how I clued in? Because I know I have small values, right? And I'm like, how do I go from 55 to 18,000, right? My brain was already like, okay, that's wrong. Let me do that again. Sorry, guys. 2.94 times 55.04. I'm glad I kind of caught myself there. So I get 161.8176, all divided by 0.86. That's why it's nice to have a rough idea what the value is going to be in your head so that you know, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm doing something wrong, right? Why does that happen? I don't know what I do there. It's like it deletes the whole thing. It scares me. Now divide by 0.86. There we go. That makes more sense. I guess I could have just moved the decimal over 2 places. That would have worked too. So I get 188.16. Okay. I'm going to go like that. And that's in inches. Okay. Or people will use the double ticks as well for inches. It's all the same. Okay, there we go, guys. That's the answer. Right, now that makes more sense, right? A ratio proportion is the best way to solve that. You could use triangles, I guess, if you wanted to. It would still work, but you could use ratio proportion for triangles as well. So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. You're awesome sauceum. If you're actually watching the video, wanting to learn and grow, parents, I support you in your decision to homeschool your children. Thank you for finding the channel and having your child or children learn and grow here on the channel. That's super awesome. Students, if you're a student in public school or whatever, you're also welcome here as well. If you need extra support and such. Again, if you guys have Any like questions, or maybe there's a particular area you want me to work on, I'll kind of try to speed things up and then do a video on that series or whatever for you guys. Okay. Again, my thinking is I was blessed and lucky, very blessed and lucky to have instructors when I was going to college that taught the subject and nothing else. Okay, therefore equals I excelled in mathematics and I majored in calculus as well. Now it's been a number of years since I've done the calculus, but for me this is basic mathematics stuff, and yeah, I just enjoy and truly enjoy working with numbers and working with math. I love this. So again, my thoughts are those teachers that are not teaching this subject and teaching other things other than mathematics, well, I feel I'm more qualified than they are already. I don't need a degree or whatever. Like, I have degrees. I don't need to be a teacher mathematic degree. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm more qualified than them because I'm actually teaching mathematics. Therefore, equals I'm more qualified. All right, awesome, awesome. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, guys and gals, parents. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now, wherever you are. Have an awesome rest of your day. Peace.